So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are doing the part 2 of stability and control. So the next thing is directional stability. So it is the yawing motion about the normal axis where n is the yawing moment and Cn is the yawing moment coefficient. Okay. So if you are moving to the right, it is called positive yawing moment. If you are moving to the left, it's called negative. Okay. So first we'll look at side slip. So side slip is the angle between the longitudinal axis and the relative airflow. Okay, so this angle is the side slip angle. Okay, so if the relative airflow is coming from the right, we say it to be a positive side slip. If the relative airflow is coming from the left, we say that it's a negative side slip. Okay, so when you are experiencing a right side slip, basically the aircraft is moving towards the right. Okay, it is moving towards the right, so hence you have the relative airflow coming from the right. Okay, so relative airflow is always opposite to your flight path. So the aircraft's nose is to the left, but the aircraft is moving towards the right. Okay, in case of right side slip, and the opposite is true in case of left side slip. The side slip angle beta, it's essentially the directional angle of attack. Okay, so in this case, as you can see, the aircraft's nose has yawed to the left. Okay, so we have to bring the nose back to center into equilibrium. So it needs a positive yawing moment for this. Okay, because we are going towards the right, hence we are saying positive yawing moment. Okay, so this stabilizing yawing moment will neutralize the destabilizing effect that we earlier had. Okay, so we'll go into a bit more detail. So this is the graph. Beta is the side slip angle. Plus beta, that means the relative airflow is coming from the right. Minus means the relative airflow is coming from the left. Yawing moment we have here. If it is positive, it means we are taking a right turn. If it is negative, it means we are taking a left turn. Okay. So we have 4 examples here. We'll look at a couple of examples to really understand how it works. So in this quadrant, as we can see, we have positive beta and positive Cn. Okay, so positive beta would mean that this is the aircraft's longitudinal axis. Aircraft is moving towards the right, hence we have the relative airflow coming from the right. Okay, so in order to come back to equilibrium, the aircraft will have to have a right yawing moment. Okay, to again come back to equilibrium. So we have a right yawing moment with a right side slip, right? So the aircraft is able to come back to equilibrium. Okay, so it is directionally stable in this case. So if we look at this quadrant, we have a negative side slip, as we can see here. Okay, so the aircraft is moving towards the left and we have relative airflow coming from the left. So aircraft's nose is towards the right, so we have to again go towards the left to be in equilibrium. Okay, so but we have a positive Cn here. Okay, so if this is the longitudinal axis, this is the relative airflow, we want to go here, but the yawing moment is taking it in the opposite direction, so it is unstable in this case. Okay, if we see this one, third example, so we have a negative side slip. Okay, so again this is the longitudinal axis, aircraft is moving towards the left, we have relative airflow coming from the left. Okay, so we want to move towards the left to be in equilibrium, right? So that is the case here. We have negative Cn, that is the aircraft is moving towards the left. Hence, we have directional stability in this case. Okay. So fourth one, you can try it out for yourself. So yeah, at the center in black, as you can see, it has neutral stability. That means the situation is not worsening, at the same time it is not improving. Okay, it is neutral. So now we look at the contribution of different components to directional stability. So first is fuselage. So this is the side slip angle. Okay. So since the aircraft's nose is to the left, we want to move right to come back to equilibrium. So but in this case, if we consider the side slip as the directional angle of attack, we have the AC. Okay, so lift is acting here. So this lift force is taking the aircraft further away from equilibrium, right? So the contribution of fuselage is destabilizing. Next is keel surface. So keel surface is the side surface of the aircraft. Okay, so this whole side surface is known as the keel surface. So we have the keel surface ahead of the center of gravity, as well as we have the keel surface behind or aft of center of gravity. Okay, so this keel surface that is behind is what produces the stabilizing moment. Okay, so as we know, fin is the major contributory factor in case of directional stability. Okay, so if we see here, so the fin increases the keel surface behind. So again, for this aircraft to come into equilibrium, it has to move right. Okay, so the fin is providing, this whole keel surface behind the CG is providing a stabilizing moment. Okay, that means it is again moving back to equilibrium. So it is overpowering the destabilizing effect given by the fuselage ahead. Okay, so this fin is overpowering it. Okay, it is giving more stabilizing moment, and hence the aircraft has directional stability. We also have dorsal fin and ventral fin. So these provide the extra directional, extra stabilizing moment along with the your general fin. Okay, this is for additional stabilizing moment, dorsal and ventral fin. Okay, so there is a term known as weathercocking. So it happens when the aircraft is moving with the wheels on ground. The directional stability of the aircraft will always generate a yawing movement into the wind. So that is known as weathercocking. Okay. So next is high aspect ratio and low aspect ratio aerofoil comparison. Okay. So if an aerofoil has low aspect ratio, what is aspect ratio? It is span by chord ratio. So if the chord is more, we can say aspect ratio is low. So if the chord is more airflow will go from high to low. Okay. Since more airflow is going, you will have greater wingtip vortices, which will have an effect of induced downwash. And as induced downwash increases, the relative airflow becomes effective airflow, and the angle of attack reduces. Okay, so this angle reduces. So the stalling angle is further delayed. Okay, in case of low aspect ratio wing, and this is the reason why the fin has a low aspect ratio as compared to the wings. Okay, so even if the wing stalls first, your fin will still have effectiveness, and it will help to directionally control the aircraft. Getting it? Both the dorsal fin and the ventral fin contribute positively to the directional stability. Okay. Whereas dorsal fin contributes positively to lateral static stability. So lateral stability we will be doing next. Okay. So dorsal fin contributes positively, whereas ventral fin contributes negatively to lateral stability. So for this reason, dorsal fin is much more common in case of airliners as compared to ventral fin. Okay. So ventral fin you can find in military aircrafts, as you can see here on the MiG-23. So in case of directional stability, ventral fin is useful when at high angles of attack. Okay. So when at high angles of attack, the wing wake covers the whole fin area and makes it less effective. So in that case, because of this ventral fin, you can maintain your directional stability. Next is effect of swept back wings on directional stability. So if we see, the relative airflow is coming from here, aircraft is moving in this direction. So the left side has an increased sweep angle, the right side has a decreased sweep angle. So increased sweep angle means more span-wise flow, and more span-wise flow means less chord-wise flow. Okay, so because of the reduced chord-wise flow, the lift will be less and induced drag will be less. Okay, so in this case, because the sweep angle is reduced, the span-wise flow will be lesser, chord-wise flow will be greater, increasing lift and hence increasing the induced drag. So this induced drag will cause the aircraft to come back to equilibrium. Okay, thus providing a small stabilizing moment. So next is lateral stability. It is a rolling motion about the longitudinal axis, where the rolling moment is positive to the right, negative to the left. Okay, so similar to the yawing moment. So we look at side slip. So if the aircraft is displaced away from wings level, the inclination of the lift vector will generate a side force and the aircraft will start to move sideways through the air. This is known as side slip. So in this case, the aircraft is experiencing a left side slip. Okay, so aircraft is moving towards the left and the relative airflow is also coming from the left. Okay, so in order to bring the aircraft back to wings level, we need a positive rolling moment. Okay, so this will be a stabilizing effect. So if you look at these examples, the aircraft is having a left side slip. Okay, so it needs a positive rolling moment, that is to the right, in order to come back to wings level condition. In case of a neutral lateral stability, in that case the aircraft will hold its displacement, it will not get better or worse. So in that case we call it as neutral lateral stability, and this is the unstable condition. Okay, so you have a unstable roll which is worsening the condition. Okay, so this is known as unstable lateral stability. So if we look at this graph, so we look at a couple of examples here. So here we have positive side slip angle, okay, and positive coefficient of rolling moment. So in this case it is right side slip because it is positive. So the aircraft is side slipping to the right. Okay, it is going like this. So we need a left rolling moment in order to stabilize it. Okay, but in this case we are getting a positive rolling moment. Positive means right rolling moment, which will again take the aircraft further away from wings level. So this is an unstable condition here. If we look at this condition, okay, again we have a positive rolling moment. Again, that is, we will be rolling towards the right. So in this case, you have a negative side slip angle. So you are side slipping to the left in this case. Okay, you are going like this. So we need to have a right rolling moment in order to come back to wings level. So that is the case here. Okay, we are getting a right rolling moment, positive rolling moment. Hence, we are coming back to wings level or equilibrium. So in this case, we have a stable condition, stable lateral stability. The rest too, you can try it out for yourself if you are understanding it. So now we'll look at the contribution of component surfaces to lateral stability. So the principal contributory factor is the wing. Okay. So as you can see, there is an airflow above the wing as well as below the fuselage. Okay. So the relative airflow path is partly over the top and partly beneath the fuselage. So in this case, the aircraft is side slipping to the right, and we have the relative airflow coming in from the opposite direction. So now we'll look at the influence of different types of wings on lateral stability. So first is a low mounted wing. Okay. So the airflow which is going below the fuselage, so that is affecting the wing, not the airflow which is above. So it is under the influence of the airflow beneath the fuselage. So as you can see, in this case, the angle that it creates with the wing is lesser in this case and more in this case. Okay. So because this angle is more on the left side, it will have an increased lift. Okay. So the aircraft is side slipping towards the right. It is going in this direction. So we need a stabilizing moment like this. But in this case, we are getting a lift force here, which is taking the aircraft further away from wings level. Okay. So this is creating a destabilizing effect. Okay. Or negative lateral static stability. So low mounted wing gives a destabilizing effect, we can say. Then we have dihedral, which is a modification to the low mounted wing. So it is basically the upward inclination of the wing from the root to the tip. Okay. So this is the dihedral. So dihedral is unaffected by the airflow which is going below the fuselage. It is affected by the airflow which is above the fuselage. So if we can see, the angle which is formed here is lesser, whereas the angle which is formed here is greater. So we have an increased lift here, which will cause the aircraft to again come back to wings level condition, therefore providing a stabilizing effect in this case. Okay, so it gives a positive lateral stability. So now we'll look at high mounted wing. So this is again coming in under influence of the airflow above the wing. Okay, so similar effect as dihedral. So the angle of attack is increased here as compared to here, it is lesser. It is generating more lift here, and the aircraft is coming back to wings level condition here, as you can see. So this also produces a stabilizing effect. So because the high wing may give too much lateral stability, designers can reduce the lateral stability by introducing something known as anhedral. Okay. So this is how the anhedral looks. So from the root to tip, it is going at a downward angle in case of anhedral. So in case of dihedral, it was an upward inclination of the low mounted wing. So it is the downward inclination of the wing from the horizontal. So here we have an example of the Antonov 225. Okay, one of the biggest, I guess the biggest aircraft that has been production till now. So yeah, next is sweep back. So we have a right side slip in this case. Okay, so as we can see, the sweep angle is more here, so the lift is less. Sweep angle is less here. Okay, so span wise flow is lesser, chord wise flow is more lift. So it will have a stabilizing effect. It will come back to wings level condition. Then we have the effect of fin on lateral stability. So as we know, in case of a right side slip, the fin provides a force in the opposite direction, as we had seen during the directional stability. Okay, so since the fin is above the center of gravity, it is giving a stabilizing moment. It is helping the aircraft to come back to wings level. So fin provides a small stabilizing moment. But in case of the ventral fin, okay, which is below the center of gravity, so both fins are giving the force in the same direction. Okay, but since the ventral fin is below, it is providing a small destabilizing effect. Okay, so it is not much of a factor because the size of it is so small, so it doesn't really matter that much. Any contribution of the ventral fin to lateral stability is insignificant. Next is flaps. So this is with the flaps retracted, the pressure distribution and the lift force. With the flaps extended, the lift force moves further towards the aircraft root. Okay, so since the arm is getting shorter here between the lift force and the center of gravity, the lateral stability is reduced. Next we have spiral divergence. So this happens when the directional stability is more as compared to the lateral stability. So if this is the case, there is a tendency of the aircraft to spiral like this. Okay, because directional stability is more, lateral is lesser. Next is Dutch roll. It is basically out of phase turns. So when you roll an aircraft, it creates an opposite yaw, and when you yaw an aircraft, it creates an opposite roll. Okay, so this happens due to decreased directional stability and increased lateral stability. Okay, so basically the aircraft has out of phase turns, like once it will go here, then the other time it will go here. Okay, so whatever you do, it will do the opposite thing. Like for example, as it is given here, if you roll the aircraft, it creates an opposite yaw. If you yaw the aircraft, it creates an opposite roll. Okay, hence to counteract this issue, the aircraft is fitted with yaw damper. Okay, it automatically displaces the rudder proportional to the rate of yaw to dampen out the oscillations. If yaw damper fails in flight, ailerons should be used by the pilot to dampen out Dutch roll. Okay, because if the pilot uses rudder and there is a response lag, the pilot can worsen the already increased Dutch roll. Okay, he can worsen the situation even further. That is why if the yaw damper fails, you won't use the rudder, the pilot will use the ailerons instead. Okay, yeah, so we are done with this chapter. Okay, it was a big chapter, we have to do it in 2 parts. So hope you understood this. And if you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.